Sonoro Gold besitzt das Cerro Calieche Projekt im Norden Mexikos und arbeitet aktuell daran, die im letzten Jahr erbrachte PEA zu verbessern. Hierfür wurden weitere Bohrungen durchgeführt und unter anderem soll die Goldressource mehr als verdoppelt werden. In den vergangenen Wochen hat Sonoro mit hervorragenden Bohrergebnissen herausstechen können. Grund genug also, dass wir einmal mit MacLeod sprechen, um die neuesten Pläne und Erkenntnisse des Sonoro-Teams erfahren zu können. Zunächst wollte ich mir aber einen Überblick verschaffen und einfach mal wissen, wie denn der aktuelle Stand hinsichtlich der Ressourcenvergrößerung aussieht.
So, you guys are planning on becoming a gold producer by the beginning of 2023. And you've got a PEA with 7 years of mine life and more than 300,000 ounces indicated. And as far as we know, you're trying to double the ounces and the life of mine. Could you please tell us something about how your current situation is and how you guys are doing on doubling the ounces?
Well, by all means, Jan, pleasure to chat with you today. The essence is we're in the process of updating our PEA, our preliminary economic assessment. Just to recap on the original one, we had 440,000 mineable ounces with a recovery rate of 74%, which essentially yields about 50,000 ounces a year of gold production over a 7-year mine life. And so now we're updating it to reflect some project sensitivities and optimization that will hopefully enable us to have an even better return on the investment. So that is a work in progress currently, and we should have a news on that in the next few weeks. But for today, the great news for us is that we have submitted our application for the first of 2 environmental permits. And this is called the MIA. And the MIA will enable us, once it's approved by the environmental agency SEMARNAT in Mexico, it'll enable us to start construction. And so that is a major milestone for us. And so as we transition from an exploration company to a development company. And recently, we announced some new assay results from the drilling program at Cerro Calieche, and they were very, very successful. In fact, we're consistently getting some of the best assays and the best grades we've ever experienced at Cerro Calieche. So there's a lot of good news coming out of Sonoro at this time, and hopefully it'll continue in the future as well.
MacLeod ist also der Meinung, dass hier alles in die richtige Richtung geht. Mit Blick auf die aktuelle PEA hat Sonoro ca. $1.350 Kosten je Unze. Bei einem aktuellen Goldpreis um die $1.900 und 56.000 Unzen jährlicher Produktionskapazität entspricht das einem Erlös von ca. $31 Millionen vor Steuern. Natürlich hoffen wir alle darauf, dass der Goldpreis in absehbarer Zukunft die $2.500 überschreitet. Doch das kann die Firma natürlich nicht beeinflussen. Allerdings können theoretisch die Produktionskosten je Unze reduziert werden. Und da wollte ich doch mal wissen, wie denn die Pläne dafür ausschauen und ob das überhaupt möglich ist.
That's the issue we're tackling just now, and that will be reflected in an updated PEA over the coming weeks. Now, the PEA, we're still using the same resource as we had in the original PEA of last October. And that was drilling until April of 2021. But we've been able to optimize the mine plan to reflect a lower capital cost. And that, so over the coming weeks, we will finalize these lower capital costs and be able to hopefully demonstrate an even better internal rate of return and a better NPV. And if that is the case, the all-in, the cash costs will be reduced per ounce, and sustaining costs per ounce will be reduced. So we have to wait for 2 or 3 weeks until we get that information. And then as we're currently drilling, we will be updating the PEA again in August of this year.
Sonoro hat aktuell eine ausgewiesene Ressource mit einem Gehalt von knapp unter 0,5 Gramm Gold je Tonne Gestein. Doch die letzten Bohrungen zeigen in einer Tiefe von 100 bis 200 Metern teilweise sogar 9 Gramm Gold je Tonne Gestein auf, was eben deutlich mehr ist. Und ich wollte einmal wissen, ob das Geologenteam noch mehr solcher fabelhaften Bohrungen auf dem Projekt vermutet und ob sich Anleger auf weitere tolle Bohrergebnisse freuen können.
Well, that's the plan. And it's a great question and demands a great answer, which I'll only give it to you once we do some additional drilling. But we're still awaiting some assay results from that area which we'll probably receive over the next 3 weeks or so. So we will update the drilling program results in about 1 month's time. Now, we are consistently getting areas of higher grade. By higher grade, I've got some examples of, 10 meters of 9 meters of 10 grams. We've got 12 meters of 5.5, 26 meters of 5.5 grams. These are really good intercepts by anybody's standards. And so they get us very excited in that as we continue to see these, what are known as high grade ore shoots, they make for a much more productive and much more economic mine plan in the future, because as you can well imagine, if you're mining at better than 1 gram per ton, the economics are better than mining at 0.4 grams. But don't keep in mind that the mining at 0.4 grams with large tonnage is also very economically viable, according to the PEA.
Nachdem wir über das Projekt gesprochen haben, habe ich Ken noch einmal in die Zukunft entführt und mit ihm darüber gesprochen, dass die benachbarte Mercedes-Mine vor kurzem von Bear Creek Mining gekauft wurde. Nun wollte ich von Ken wissen, ob das Management daran glaubt, dass hier ebenfalls eine vorzeigbare Mine entstehen kann und ob ein Verkauf für das Management von Sonoro Gold überhaupt in Frage käme, wenn es denn eine gewisse Attraktivität für große Gold Companies erreicht.
And the Mercedes mine just got acquired by Bear Creek Mining and is very close to Cerro Calieche. They had like the same situation. They had a low-grade gold project at the surface, and they drilled deeper to get high-grade gold results. And do you think there could be another Mercedes mine at Cerro Calieche? And do you think you could be maybe a target of bigger gold companies to get acquired as well?
As far as the comparison between us and the Mercedes mine, it's realistic in that we are on the same structure. It's a low sulfidation epithermal system, which over the 8-kilometer span between us and Mercedes mine seems to be quite consistent. And the difference is, the similarity is, we've been focusing on developing the shallow near surface oxide open pitable heap leachable deposit, and has worked out really, really well for us so far. Now, we're occasionally probing a little deeper, and in the El Colorado zone in the southwest of the mineralized zone, we've been encountering these much, much higher grades. And they're similar to what the Mercedes mine are now experiencing at 300 to 350 meters depth below surface. And we are encountering those high grades at 60 to 70 meters below surface. So it's very reassuring to see this happening. Can we continue to develop these high-grade zones? The answer is yeah. With more drilling, we believe we can continue to follow these high-grade vein zones and develop a greater profile of a high-grade system, especially in the southwest part of the concession. Now, there are other areas of the concession where we believe that high grades is a potential, but we haven't drilled them yet. We're getting indications from the sampling that there's indications of the boiling zone, which suggests that there may be high grades present, but we will not know for certain until we actually drill, but it's very encouraging. As far as in the future being a target for another mining company to acquire us, that's always a possibility. Every junior company that is successful faces that same issue. So you have to make that decision. What's best for the shareholders? Do you continue to operate as an independent, small to mid-tier gold producer? Or do you open it up to the outside world to come in and say, okay, we're available for sale and the best bidder will win. But once again, that is a little further down the line.
Sonoro muss noch einige Meilensteine gehen, um die Produktion in 2023 starten zu können. Mich interessiert hierbei natürlich, welches die nächsten Meilensteine sind und ob er glaubt, dass alle zeitgerecht erfüllt werden können.
Yes, the two more important ones are the environmental permits, and they take their time to go through the process with the environmental agency SEMARNAT, and we're expecting that maybe by September, October of this year, we should be in a position to obtain the permitting approval. The other major aspects will be, of course, the project finance. And we've been working on that aspect now for over a year, just preparing the way and trying to determine the financial institutions that are interested in financing a project in the future. And we're having some good success in that regard. The other issues would be the construction aspect. And it's I don't see any great difficulties on the construction side because we are operating in an area that we're surrounded by producing mines, and a soon-to-be producer with Agnico Eagle's Santa Gertrudis project just to our north. We feel that the area we're operating under has no environmental negatives at this point in time. We have done a very extensive environmental review over the past year, and so we don't see any showstoppers. So the local population and the little town of Kukurpe, which is 14 kilometers away, are heavily reliant on mining, same as the town of Magdalena, 45 kilometers away. So it's a mining-friendly district in a mining-friendly state of Sonora.
Also noch einmal zusammengefasst. Es lässt sich sagen, dass Ken hier sehr klare Antworten auf teils doch noch schwierige Fragen geben konnte. Das bedeutet für mich, dass sich das Management-Team mit allen Eventualitäten beschäftigt, was Ken in dem Video auch selbst bestätigt. Das Team glaubt fest daran, die Ressource auf 1 Million Unzen erhöhen zu können und damit auch die Lebensdauer der Mine signifikant zu steigern. Ken sieht bei den bevorstehenden Meilensteinen, die definitiv noch zu gehen sind, weniger Probleme, und wenn alles aufgeht, dann dürften sich Anleger Anfang 2023 auf eine profitable Goldmine in einem sicheren Gebiet freuen, wo bereits einige profitable Minen den Besitzer für viel Geld gewechselt haben. Und das immer zur Freude der Anleger. Wenn ihr auch Fragen an Sonoro Gold habt, dann schreibt sie gerne unten in die Kommentare und wir leiten sie sehr gerne weiter, führen auch gerne demnächst nochmal ein Interview. Bald schon werde ich Ken auf der PDAC in Kanada wieder treffen, die größte Bergbaumesse der Welt, und werde einmal schauen, was sich bis dahin getan hat. Wir würden uns freuen, wenn ihr den Kanal abonnieren würdet, um eben keine News mehr zu verpassen. Dann sehen wir uns auch im nächsten Video ganz sicher wieder. Ich verabschiede mich.